Hey everyone, it's Flak. You might be wondering why I'm starting a Battlefield video with some footage of Call of Duty World War II. And the answer is, since launch, players have lamented Battlefield 5's lack of what some have called iconic World War II maps. They begged for the bigger battles of the Second World War, the ones that by measurement of popular culture matter the most. And this puts Battlefield 5 in a bit of a predicament. The game has marketed itself on showcasing the untold stories of the war, an approach which may have done them actually more harm than good. Rotterdam, Arras, and Twisted Steel are all great maps. I love them, but they're not rooted in legendary military feats. They lack widespread appeal and don't satisfy the scenarios many want to experience after watching films like Saving Private Ryan, Hacksaw Ridge, or Fury. Similarly, they don't effectively mimic the atmosphere of the Pacific or Band of Brothers. Call of Duty World War II was able to scratch that itch a bit, but it might finally be time for Battlefield 5. In a recent interview at EA Play, producer Ryan MacArthur commented on the addition of the Pacific Theater in Chapter 5, saying DICE are aware of the expectations of a proper amphibious invasion map. MacArthur also reiterated the importance of nailing specific locations and weapon expectations, along with giving players the intense experience that they crave. But based on what we've seen from DICE and Battlefield 5 up to this point, I have my reservations. We did, however, get a sneak peek at EA Play that looks rather promising. The sands of Iwo Jima and some concept art depicting what could be the Battle of Guadalcanal were enough to pique the interest of many players, but gameplay here is going to be just as important as setting. DICE have been quiet on what we can expect in Tides of War Chapter 5, which focuses on the Pacific. Now, I understand this as it's months away, but there have been rumors of Carrier Assault returning, as well as Wake Island, and now thanks to Dataminer Temporyal, we at least have some early indications on how DICE will bring amphibious landings to life in Chapter 5. Before getting into this, keep in mind this info is not official and it's likely to change by launch, if it even makes it into Battlefield 5. According to Temporyal, Chapter 5 will feature a brand new two-phase beach landing game mode. In the mode's first phase, the attackers begin at sea and must assault the beaches. Fortifications are key for those on the offensive, as they must build beachheads to gain spawn points on land, and these beachheads act as jump-off points, enabling them to continue the offensive further inland. For the defenders, the priority is obviously whittling down enemy forces and destroying beachheads to keep the attackers from gaining a toehold. After the first phase, the game mode continues to a second, where attackers must arm and destroy a series of objectives. Naturally, the defenders must protect and disarm any explosives planted on those objectives. So, from the sounds of it, the new game mode will basically mix Frontlines and Rush, two fan-favorite game modes. It also mimics to some extent the actual tactics used during the island-hopping campaigns in the Pacific. Perhaps more importantly, it sounds like the games will be shorter than Grand Operations, the other multi-part game mode in Battlefield 5. The player count in Grand Operations has a tendency to dwindle as the days roll on, and that has honestly been quite problematic. However, this new game mode seems to have more in common with Battlefield 1's Operations game mode, which means less of a time commitment for players, and right now, I think that's a positive thing. Unfortunately, it will all be for naught if DICE doesn't nail the atmosphere and player expectations. Devs did do some extensive scouting to create accurate biomes, and they do have a history of bringing the Pacific to life, but there is this Battlefield 5 factor to contend with. Unlike Battlefield 1942, devs are fighting an uphill battle against exasperated fans who were underwhelmed from the beginning and frustrated ever since. That said, DICE not only needs to deliver, but over-deliver, and I sincerely hope that they can. That is unfortunately all of the information that we have at this time regarding this potential upcoming game mode in Battlefield 5's Chapter 5 expansion with Tides of War. If you guys don't follow Temporyal already, make sure you check out the link here in the video description. He's doing wonderful things for the community. In the meantime, tell me what your expectations are for Chapter 5 in the Pacific, and I will do my best to share that with developers if given the opportunity. Tell me the locations you want to see. Tell me the weapons you want to see. Tell me the vehicles you want to see. Tell me what would make Battlefield 5 your go-to game when Chapter 5 rolls around in the fall. Leave a comment down below with that information. In the meantime, if you haven't signed up for my upcoming giveaway, make sure to do that as well. You'll find a link to that down there in the video description. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching.